Well, we'd like to get everybody caught up with what we've been doing over at Garagemahal. We've been working on, well, a whole bunch of different projects, and, well, check it out.
All aboard!
We have declared the Village of Grapevine finished a couple of different times, and as the weather just keeps staying nice, we just keep working out there. But we're also working a lot inside because, well, the weather is turning nasty after all. It is fall after all, and by fall I mean leaves and snow and all kinds of things are falling. And so while the weather's good, we work outside. When the weather's nasty, we work inside, which is to say, any time now we're going to be stuck with working exclusively inside. And at this point right now, that's to say we're working mostly inside, but we do get to sneak outside now and then. And then the decision is, as soon as we shut down the outside part of the railroad and put it away for the winter, well, we would never put it away because we might go out there and run trains in the winter sometimes, but we don't work on it. Just every once in a great while, maybe run a train out there because the snow's just right or the weather's just right or something. So this might be, this is Schitt's Creek. No, it's not spelled that way. This is like in the TV show. And the little village is going to be up here, and this is as far as we've gotten. The tunnel portals and the track going through where it goes outside to the outside railroad. And so we might work on this. I mean, that's on the agenda. Over here, kind of thinking of reworking this whole area. We call this the kitchen just because the microwave is over here. But this is the city of Alamosa, and this I'm looking really forward to. And Karen's going to do the inside of the hotel, and it should be really fun. So maybe we'll work here. We have to finish the big canyon, the giant canyon, which was covered in a lot of the shows last winter. And there's the Gardner Mill down there, and the giant bridge, and the somewhat finished lower part of the canyon, and the somewhat finished upper part of the canyon, and there's a big hole in between the two. The track comes to right here and ends. And then it goes into the engine shop with the coaling tower and the shoe shop. This is Karen's shoe shop that we did a show on, and the outhouse. And this whole area just needs to be put together. And then the track needs to tie into the other end of the track right here. So all we have to bridge is just that little section right there. And I'm looking forward to that because then the trains from the switching yard over here can go all the way outside. Also want to put together, finish up the K36, and we got a couple of these K28s and a whole bunch of other locomotives. So there's plenty of things to keep us busy. As soon as the weather turns so nasty outside that we can't work outside anymore. But right now we're just trying to finish up outside. And Karen's been working on, well, what have you been working on?
Well, I used to make these years ago. They're made from seed beads, and a friend of mine used to make these and sell them at work. So I had one that fell apart, and I had to try to fix it. But I'd studied it really well and decided I could try making one. They're not too difficult. They're started with a seed bead project called peyote, which is the reference, not to peyote, but the style of beading that this is, where you almost weave it into a pattern by going back and forth.
Cool.
So you start here, make this, and of course start it and wrap it around. I use a dowel, a little piece. I don't even have a piece handy, but anyway, a piece of dowel. I've used them all. And just keep going till you make your pattern. And then, of course, each of these is just a string of seed beads that's made into a loop by following a pattern, kind of like you did when you were in kindergarten making bead patterns, until it's finished. But they make a really nice, fun keychain. I can just clip it onto my keys and It's quite ornamental.
That's neat. I'm afraid I would destroy it in about
Oh,
6 minutes.
I do destroy them. They can get hung up on things. And here's one I'm working on. This is in the process of being made. Some nice fun colors there. And you can see the dowel inside.
Sweet.
But again, this one's got a little different pattern to it. So it's just kind of weaving back and forth and putting different beads on in a pattern
Nice.
and making these keychains.
So how many have you made?
Right now, I've got this one made, one at home, one I gave to my daughter. So 1, 2, 4 I've made. Well, 3.5. And then here's some here that I just need to put the fringes on there, the little loops.
Wow.
So, yeah, they're just fun to make. They go
Fun.
pretty fast once you get onto it. But.
I'd never get on to it.
Oh, and that's why I say but how do you see? Well, I use my cheaters.
Yeah. I couldn't do anything without.
No,
we
I
both have a pair of those things that we got off of some internet site.
Right, but
somewhere.
any kind of magnifiers, it sure makes
pretty
it
good.
easier on the eyeballs.
Yeah, and those are pretty good ones, actually.
Those are, yeah.
They've got a light bulb and a whole bunch of different
Tweezers
lenses.
and more seed beads, and yeah,
Let's see the seed beads.
yeah.
Wow.
There's some.
So you have to sort out the colors.
Oh yeah, I just get in there with the needle, and some of them come with single color.
Wow.
I just buy whatever I can find and whatever I think will look good.
Sweet.
Yeah, there's those.
Now the other thing that I've been working on is, as you know from the show, we've been building the garden, or not garden, we did the garden house. This is the Grapevine, the Village of Grapevine. And we said we're done with the Village of Grapevine and promptly did another show on the Village of Grapevine.
We're still building the garden.
Well, the weather's been good.
I know.
It's like fall just keeps on hanging on, hanging
Yeah.
on. Well, it snowed last night, so I guess maybe that's a sign. But we built the platform because it's like, well, if the weather's going to continue, so we built that platform. There's been a show on the platform. And then at the very end of that show, I showed where it rained on the platform and all the wood warped. So I figured out how to fix that, and I took some of the wood up, and I took some pieces of the wood out so that they wouldn't be pressing up against each other, and I figured out some spacing in there, glued it all back down together, put it all back together, and the good news is it's been rained on, it's now been snowed on, and it's doing just fine. It's not warping anymore, and everything's good.
Squirrel traffic, yes.
The squirrels have been into it, but they haven't hurt anything. And the other thing, and so it's like, well, if the weather's going to continue, now what should we do? I'll put a light on the platform, because how cool would that be? And a sign that says the Village of Grapevine, because the whole village is lit up, but the platform's really dark. And it's like, well, I know how to fix that. Same way the railroad would. We'll put a lamp post with some lamps that light up, the platform, right?
Exactly.
So I got online. I knew about this product. It's the LGB 5056 lamppost. Okay, and it's really ornate, and it matches the lamps that are already in the town square. And so I thought, well, they're like $45, and then the shipping. It's like, ew, that's
scary.
That's a little steep. But I bought a whole lot of stuff from Trains, the online store called Trains, Tranz, Trains, and they had a used one, and it was like $25. I went, score. So I bought that, and it came, and it's like, oh, exciting, and it looked really good, and everything was fine. Plugged it in, and it didn't work. And let me show you why. There's a base that the lamppost is supposed to plug into, like that. Okay, and then there's an electrical connection here, and that plug is broken. And I thought, maybe I can fix that plug and make that work, but it's supposed to work. So I contacted Trains, and I said, I'm sort of thinking at this point, rather than spend 2 days rebuilding the plug, which maybe will work and maybe won't, can you refund my money? I'll send this back and I'll just buy the new one. And they contacted me and they said, not a problem, because they're really good people to work with. Not a problem at all. Just keep that, throw it away, do whatever you want to with it, and we'll refund your money. That's like, well, gee, now I got to fix it.
Uh-oh.
So I spent 2 days reworking the plug, and here's how the plug goes. And that just goes in like that. And now it makes electrical contact because I pulled out the little metal pieces. Half of them are missing, and I shimmed that so that it makes good contact, and it plugged in. Well, there it is. Now it's working, right? Wrong, because LGB, in their infinite wisdom, uses an 18-volt bulb. And it barely comes on at 12 volts. I run everything on 12 volts. But see, it's a 5mm screw-in bulb.
Oh, dear.
So I'll just unscrew it and put a 12-volt bulb in
Right.
there. Simple,
Yeah,
right?
sure.
Well, I couldn't figure out how you get the bulbs out of here because they're way up inside here, and there's just no getting to them.
Wow.
And I thought, well, you know what I can do? I can use a piece of heat shrink because I got all kinds of heat shrink, and I found one that's just the right size. This is the original LGB socket, all machined, typical LGB, and it slips right down over the little 16-volt bulb.
Look at that. Whoop,
And it unscrews and screws right back in. Now I can take out the 16-volt bulb,
Wow.
and I can replace it with either a 12-volt bulb or even a 12-volt LED. That's a 12-volt bulb, and somewhere here is a 12-volt LED. Anyway, the LEDs are really, really bright. I thought, you know, probably the LED because I want it to light up the whole platform.
Not the whole yard.
Okay, simple, right? Wrong. So the one, I put the heat shrink on there, unscrewed it, screwed in the LED, it worked great. The other one would not come out. It was stuck in the socket. I'm thinking maybe there's corrosion, maybe there's something else going on. Okay, let's go to the internet and let's find the instructions from LGB on how you change the bulbs. Clearly, you're not supposed to use a piece of heat shrink. Well, you're not. You're supposed to just take the top off of here.
Oh.
It just slides off.
It does
and
now.
And then you can pull the wires up, or you can change out the light bulbs. You can put the top right back on. It's a little more challenging right now. Except the top doesn't come off.
No.
Why?
Well, I was wondering because you're struggling with it.
I'm over here inventing new words. I don't swear, but I will invent words.
Yeah.
And I'm going, why won't that come? And on close inspection, the previous owner glued it on.
Oh, yeah.
So it was probably coming loose, and rather than deal with it and not thinking that you have to take that off to change the light bulbs, they just glued it on.
Grab the old crazy glue and away you go.
And while they were at it, they got glue in this socket.
Been there and done that.
So now you can't unscrew the bulb, and the bulb doesn't come on at all. What am I going to do? So I cut the top off, and then you took
My little Dremel.
Yeah, it's like a miniature.
Oh, I've got to show him. We're going to pan over here to my drawer. This is the coolest little gizmo.
Hobby Heaven.
Yes.
Haven.
Hobby Haven. Oh, come on. Get out of here. Okay, here it is. It's just small. It's like the size of a screwdriver or something. And, of course, it has all these little microscopic drill pieces that goes in it. So I thought I could use that and play dentist and drill out the center portion of that.
Yeah, because I was able to cut this part off with a razor saw.
Right.
But then once we got in there, all of the pieces that are supposed to be down in there are glued solid in place.
Oh, it
and
was
there's
solid.
no getting. So you carved that out with your Dremel all the way down, and then at the bottom there's the wires. So now the wires are all getting, but there's no fixing it. The wires are all glued down to the bottom. And
Well, it was after watching you with a pokey thing and a knife and something else. I was afraid you was going to lose a finger.
I cut myself.
Yeah, you did. Yeah,
it was going badly.
It was epic.
It was going badly.
Yeah.
This is coming loose, but that's okay.
Yeah.
So here's the
That's what I removed.
original wiring that went up through there, and it just ripped the crap out of it. And I'm thinking, you know, we're starting
over with brand new wiring.
I use a lot of these 5mm plugs. This one just came unsoldered. But I have a ton of these. Yeah. So we're starting all over.
Just like the old knob and tube, get rid of it and put in
start
Romex.
all over. So that's where we're at with this project right now. Last night I fashioned a whole new top.
That was
to replace
something to
all
lay
of
awake
the
over.
Broken stuff.
Yeah, let's see on the inside. They've got to see my dental job when I'm ready to do my own root canal. There it is. See, the inside part of that, just cleaned it out with that little Dremel.
But in doing that, we lost this whole upper section.
We did.
And so I just rebuilt it out of strip plastic.
And there it is.
Now this piece goes on there. It actually does go on there.
Yep.
And the wires will go down through. And then when the bulbs need to be replaced, you can just lift that up, pull the wires up, get to everything. And then the sign for the Village of Grapevine. This is what I was working on last night when we left. So it's a double-sided sign. This is going to be the one side. This will be the back side.
Oh, neat.
It'll be like that.
Yeah.
And it'll be lit up by the lights. And it'll look really cool. And then to match the decorative stuff here,
Oh, look at that.
I'm making a little piece here. I've got it about half done at this
Piece
point.
of plastic.
So there'll be two of those, one on each side, one on side. And then I'm deciding, because if I turn it this way, then the lights will light up the sign better.
Oh, there's an idea.
So I'm kind of, that's the fun of this kind of thing now. Is figuring out what's the funnest way to go about this. Right now, that's just being held in place with some sticky tape.
Oh, I think it'll look better with this, turning it around so that the lights light it up.
That. And the only problem there is when this comes apart, the seam is right there. So I'll have to fabricate a thing where this snaps on and off.
Okay, I'm sure you can. If you can fabricate a top part, you can.
Half the fun is figuring this stuff out.
Oh, we were at it last night. Yeah. I'll be selling my own do-it-yourself root canal kit here in a minute, but yeah.
So anyway, that's a Tuesday show, if you will. It's people have been saying we'd like to see an update on what you're doing at Garagemahal and the railroad and everything. And it's like, well, but it's all torn apart, and they can't get a train from point A to point B because there's track missing, and we're working on little bits and pieces of everything as we go along. But heck, if people find that interesting, we'll just turn that into a Tuesday show.
Everything has a beginning and a middle, and we're in the middle.
We're in the middle, and now we're at the end.
Not yet.
Not yet.
It's an ongoing project.
But we're at the end of the Tuesday show.
Oh.
So we hope you enjoyed it, and we hope that you're a subscriber. And if you're not a subscriber, but the easy way to come right with the world and bring dinosaurs back to extinction instead of from extinction would be to click on the upcoming blue button. Zoink! Right there, the blue button. Or is it over here?
No,
Zoink,
it's the other way, yeah.
The blue button.
I forget where you put it this time.
I don't know where I put it. I lose everything.
When you see it, you'll know what it is.
Let's try that again. Zoink! The blue button. Well, we're not sure how you found this video on the internet. We hope you didn't find it boring, and we will see you here on Sunday. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Bye.